Welcome to the Lancaster City Council meeting. Wow, we got a full house. Ken, did you open another dispensary? Little inside joke, sorry. City Clerk.
City Council Member, Agency Director, Authority Members Hughes Leslie.
Present.
Molly.
Present.
Mann.
Present.
Vice Mayor, Vice Chairman Christ.
Present.
Mayor, Chairman Paris.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. The invocation is Caleb Schroeder. Hi, Caleb. How are you?
Lord, I ask your blessing over our city. I pray for our council members and our mayor, Lord. I pray that you would grant them wisdom that is from above, wisdom for ruling, wisdom for decision making. Lord, I pray for peace within our city. I pray that you would be working in the hearts of the people of the Antelope Valley to draw us together in unity. Lord, that we could reflect the Spirit of Christ, the Spirit of peace from the Prince of Peace. Lord, I pray that you would give a spirit of wisdom here in this council meeting tonight, wisdom that is peaceable, gentle, willing to yield, and full of good fruits and mercy. Lord, apart from you, we can do nothing, so I pray that your Spirit would bless this room tonight with your power, with your presence, and with your guidance. I pray this in the power of Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. Ken, you want to do it?
Sure. If everybody would face the flag. We'll wait. If you'd face the flag, put your right hand over your heart and repeat with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have the STEM Expo with Mary Swafford. Hi, how are you?
My name is Mary Swafford, and this is Erica Rowe. We are the coordinators for the Antelope Valley Union High School District STEM Expo event. So we did have a PowerPoint. Here we go. We are really excited to talk about the event. It's a fabulous opportunity for the students in our district. We are going to start with a video showcasing last year's event at Lancaster High School.
Where do we point the clicker?
Oh, there we go. Nope. Okay, there we go. Thank you.
Going dark. From the dead is a miracle knock. They counted me out. Moment of truth, counting it down. Underdog story was down for the count. Back on the feet, back with a mic, back on the beat, back with a family that bring in the streets. The game on lock, I stand with a key. Standing my ground, I am planning to flee. Standing my ground, I am planting my feet. Taking a stand, erasing my destiny, shaking his hand. Flipping the script, changing the plans. Up to the top, and I'm taking the fans. Making them jump, making them dance, making them jump, making them dance. We about to change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them reach the sky. We about to change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them reach the sky. Hickory, dog. Giving them all that we got. Kick on the door. Try to knock, but nobody answered. I'm going hard and taking my chances. I keep it moving. I keep advancing. Keeping it gangster. Getting the perks and I'm happy to earn them. Mr. Ambitious, give it up vicious. Mr. Determined. Right in the storm, I focus on rainbow connections like Kermit. The water on my shoulders, it was a burden. Now I don't notice it, everything turning. Everything shifting, doing it different. I'm floating, I'm drifting. Shout out the slums, round the world, we uplifting. Doing it big. We about to change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them reach the sky. We about to change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them reach
So we do have some students. Go ahead.
We have, what, 6, 7 seats up front for any of the ladies who want a chair. Where it says reserved, you can sit there. I know how sexist that sounds, but you guys just have to stand. I mean, so come on down if you want a seat, okay? Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
So we do have some students here tonight who placed at our district event last year. We have representatives from Soar High School, Eastside High School, and Quartz Hill High School here tonight. So if they could just stand up so we could recognize them quickly.
Yeah, we do want pictures.
Yeah, go ahead.
So last year we had over 300 students from across the Antelope Valley, from Palmdale, Little Rock, Soar High School, both Lancaster and Palmdale campuses, competing in the District STEM Expo. 7 comprehensive sites, 2 early college sites. And this year we're looking to increase our participation by inviting all our alternative high school sites, our virtual program, and the middle schools of the Antelope Valley.
So this truly is a group effort by all of the schools in our district. It gives students an opportunity to really explore a topic in STEM that they're interested in, and the Antelope Valley really being a fixture in aerospace, engineering, agriculture. It's really an opportunity for us to encourage that interest for our community's future as well. So this year, our upcoming event is going to be April 26, 2025, hosted at Lancaster High School again. The way it works is we take the top 3 winners in each of our 9 categories from each of our sites. They send them to our district event. We get to sit and chat with these students about something that they're passionate about and this project that they've spent a lot of time on. We invite local food trucks to come on out. We get a showcase from our robotics team 399. So it's really a fun morning filled with science. Who doesn't love that?
So what we're here to do today is to ask for your support. We were able to give some prizes last year, but as you guys are well aware, it's really difficult for us to give prizes to students with public funds. And so we're looking for donations, those monetary, your time donations. If you want to come help us out, you want to see what it's all about, we would love to see you. We are always in need of judges on that day. So if any of you are interested, you can email either myself or Ms. Swafford. Our email addresses are there. And for those of you in the community, too, if you have an interest in STEM and you'd like to participate in judging for our community event, we'll give you a quick training. It's on a rubric scale, so you tell us whether it's great, not so great, based on some standards. And we'd love to have you guys out because it really is a community event. So thank you so much for your time. Do you have any questions for us?
How much do you want?
I don't know. We hadn't thought that far.
They said yes.
They said yes. They just said yes.
Yeah.
Anything that we could get, and really these would all be for prizes for our top winners in each of the 9 categories. There are up to 4 students in each team that wins, and so it all depends. I think we could, with $3,000, we would be able to give some really awesome prizes to all of our students.
Okay,
All right.
you can have that.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Oh, wait a minute, I have a question. Is
Yeah.
that your money or the city's?
My money.
That's his personal money.
Thank you.
So you know why the mayor is able to do that? Because he's learned a very valuable lesson as a trial lawyer. You know how you guaranteed not to get a $100 million verdict?
By asking for $100 million.
Well, you're guaranteed not to get it if you don't ask.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So in Lancaster, we should all ask. I mean,
The worst you could say is no, and that's
that's
why we're
right.
here. Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes they only give me half of it.
No.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'll be happy to do that. We'll do it through the mayor's fund.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good, thank you.
And
I
Mayor-
would like the kids to come down, and so we can get a picture. And I do have a request. I want a shirt.
You got it.
We'll get you a shirt.
Just let us know what size each of you wear.
Yeah.
$3,000 a shirt.
Yeah.
They're very inexpensive.
Rush. Do you notice how he's treating you different?
Oh, we could have continued on. I don't see much value in it.
Someone's got some coconut on. Someone's got some coconut on,
Is that Raj?
probably.
Okay, now we have the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department Explorer Recognition. Captain Bartlett and Deputy Reserve Tom. Where's Captain Bartlett? Tell me the captain's here. Oh. Oh,
Sorry, sir. He had a meeting downtown.
stuff happens.
I have my number one man here with me today, sir, Sergeant Chapman. But Captain Bartlett could not make it today. He sends his best and his thanks for having us, as well as congratulations to our explorers. I'd like to start off by thanking all of you, Mayor Paris, Vice Mayor Christ, and council members for having us back and for the recognition to our explorers at Lancaster Station. I can assure you they've been working hard, putting in a lot of work this year. A little biased, but I think they definitely earned it, of course. Update you on our post. Since the last time we were here, we have gained. We picked up 8 from the last Explorer Training Academy. Unfortunately, 5 of them couldn't be here today. They couldn't make it. We lost 1 since our last Explorer post captain, Sammy Torres. He's now in the Deputy Training Academy. It's about halfway through. Yeah, good job to him. And feedback I'm getting from his drill instructors there at Academy, really good. They love him. He's doing really good. He'll graduate in January, and his plans are to come back here to Lancaster and patrol, along with his older sister, who is our last Explorer post captain before him. She's already out here patrolling. She just got off training 3 months ago. So we're going to try to continue the streak. I got a younger group now, so it'll be a little bit. But like I said, they're doing really good. The 8 we got in did really good on training. We got them back in June. They got off in time. They hit the road running, working hard, helping our senior explorers work. Our seniors obviously helped them, mentored them. And they've worked numerous events, fundraisers, trainings, our weekly meetings every Thursday for 3 to 4 hours with very, very few absences as a whole all year long. Some of them even help me out at the Explorer Training Academy every Saturday. Matter of fact, 3 out of the 4 Academy drill instructors, Explorer drill instructors, are from Lancaster Post. So we're doing good. We did a couple of nationwide competitions over the past year, as you know. The last time we were here, we're getting ready to go to Vegas. Unfortunately, we came a little bit short on that one. But, no excuses. We're going to work hard, and our goal is to go back there in June and pick up from where we left off and bring home some trophies.
They did a wonderful job at the Fallen Heroes. So I'd like to thank them all personally. The city thanks you. They did a great job.
Thank you.
So they do this every Saturday and every Thursday?
So Saturdays are training academy. So what we do is to become an explorer, you go through an academy as we do as deputy sheriffs. It's modeled after our academy. It's 15 to 18 weeks every Saturday, consecutive Saturdays. It depends on the schedule, how long it runs. Upon completion of graduation, they go to what's called their post. So they'll go to their unit of assignment. So that would be the sheriff's station in the area which they live in. Once they're there, they have a short training program of 3 months. Now they're going to learn more about our job. They're going to learn more penal codes, radio codes, laws. They get opportunities to do ride-alongs with deputies out in the field. That's when they work all the events and the fundraisers and whatnot. Get the opportunity to promote. And so that's how it's two separate things. You have a training academy and then you have your post. They can stay in their post up to 21 years old. Most of ours don't because we've been on a hot streak in the last couple of years. I think I've got 5 or 6 deputies, 2 CAs, 1 Marine, and 1 Army.
Is there a waiting list to get in?
No. Matter of fact, since COVID, it's county-wide, the numbers have been down. The interest is starting to pick up a little bit now, but numbers not quite as big. So we have no cap, no waiting list right now.
Why isn't every kid involved in this? I mean, I want to do it.
And that's a good question. And we have much more advertising now. You know, we have Facebook, we have Instagram. Used to be just word of mouth.
Wow.
Before we had all that. We've been hitting a lot of events. You might have seen our explorers, us out at, the booths, Boulevard, Station Open House, all that stuff,
Have we done any attempt to find out what barriers to entry there are?
Pardon me?
What the barriers to entry are? Why isn't every kid involved in this? That's a great program.
I think just kind of a bit of a different culture now. We're going through a thing where, it's to get them to step out more, work a little harder. It's a little more difficult. We see it, a lot of them tend to quit more often now too when they're in the academy. So, we're hoping, we're seeing positive change, but it just might take a while. We went through with COVID, really affected things. I'll say that. We've noticed a big difference. So before I retired, I was a school deputy. I started noticing it in the schools as well. So that really took a toll on things. I think that's a big part of it. I think it's really any of the anti-law enforcement anymore. I think it was the COVID and the mental effect it had. And, just kind of the work ethic nowadays. So that's why I give it to these guys, 10 times over. The ones that do come through and stick with it, they're hard workers.
Anything we can do to help, obviously we will help. Okay?
Okay,
It's just a great program.
thank you. We appreciate that.
Great.
We appreciate all your help in the
Do you want to
process.
call them up and so we could recognize them? They want to get a picture.
Sure. Guys, go ahead and come on up. Do we have certificates? Okay. No, that'll just be, we'll just do it to them.
That's for all of them?
Yeah, we're gonna, so she wants us to, in it, because of time constraints, she wants to just all at the same time.
Okay.
And then we'll do the exploring year. So I'll read off what one of them says, and then we'll hand the certificates out later because of time constraints. Certificate of recognition presented to, it'll be each one of you individual, post 523. In honor of your outstanding service as a deputy explorer, the Lancaster City Council commends you for your commitment to excellence in serving the needs of the community. Presented on this 12th day of November, 2024.
All right, everybody. 1, 2, 3. And then another. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
We do have one more award to give out. We actually have two, but it will be the same Explorer, so we can do it at the same time. We have a captain's commendation. Again, Captain Bartlett's not here, so Sergeant Chapman will handle that. And I'll tie it all into one, make it quick. The Explorer of the Year is obviously for their outstanding performance, overall leadership skills, outstanding dedication and commitment to our post. I personally, I've been the post advisor for the last 5-6 years now. We've had this Explorer for the last few years. I've noticed growth and maturity, not only within himself, but within the program. Definitely stepped up leadership-wise. He's promoted. He's worked every event we've had this year, and almost every single day of every event. Comes in early, leaves late, no complaints. Explorer of the Year for Post 523 would be Xavier Jackson.
Lauren.
Thank you. Everybody? One?
We still got a garage there.
1, 2, 3. Another? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Here is an achievement ribbon for his uniform on top. The captain's commendation was from an event. We work at overflow parking lot at the fair for a fundraiser every day of the fair. It was one day, a Saturday, that I could not work it with them because I was running the Explore Academy on a Saturday. So we had a deputy that had never worked it before. He filled in for us. Obviously, I briefed him on it, kept in touch with him throughout the day. However, by the end of the day, his quote to me was, "Tom, Jackson basically ran this entire operation today. Supervised everybody, made sure the money was collected, directed the other explorers what to do, where to go," because we also had a handful of brand new ones. So he was extremely impressed by his leadership and really went out of his way and asked me if there was something we could do for him. So I ran it by Sarge and ran it by the captain, and absolutely. So he gets a station captain commendation. All right, good. Yep. All right, guys, go ahead and. Again, Mayor, Council, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. And now we have Nigel Holly.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, my fellow distinguished staffers. It's my awesome opportunity to get a chance to come here and talk to you guys about what we're doing with the youth as the City of Lancaster, the Antelope Valley Education Alliance. So I'm going to give you guys a quick update. With me are two of our educational life coaches, India Smith and Jasmine Martinez. You can stand and wave. And we brought student representation from each of our programs. So if the students would stand and wave. Okay, we can, is there a clicker? Let's see. Okay, so how did we get here? So more than 10 years ago, almost 11 years ago, myself, some other concerned citizens, Mayor Paris, the city manager at the time was Mark Bozigian, the sheriff captain, the district attorney, and we all wanted to figure out what we can do to impact our youth. And the subject and the topic that we decided to challenge was chronic absenteeism, or truancy. So from that, 11 years later, that program has grown into a multitude of programs, which I'm going to highlight very quickly today and give you guys some updates on what those programs have been doing. The primary programs are our Justice Sunday Arts Initiative, which is a program that is set up around teaching students history through the arts, and also civic responsibility. The second program that is the one that we do day to day, year round, the one that has the greatest impact to our community is the Community Attendance Assistance Program. And that is the program in which we are helping kids navigate through difficult times to go to school so that they can be productive citizens. I do have a student here who is currently in that program as well. So Daniel is here, and he'll come up and, of course, and be acknowledged when we get to the end of the presentation. We also have our Teen Talk initiatives. Oh, did I click that too soon? We have our Teen Talk initiatives, which started from one Teen Talk. And the question that was asked was, how do we bridge the gap between our youth and local law enforcement? From that one Teen Talk, we have 4 separate versions of Teen Talk now, the biggest of which will be on Thursday, where we bring in every aspect of the criminal justice system to sit down and work with our youth. We currently have 250 students registered. We had to close registration because we just had that big of an interest in students coming out to participate in Youth for Justice. Our own mayor will be there to teach on the intricacies of litigation. So it's one of those things where it definitely impacts our youth and it changes their lives. They get an opportunity to learn about Homeland Security. They get the chance to meet with Homeland Security. They get a chance to work with the Drug Enforcement Agency, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, California Corrections, California Highway Patrol. We bring in judges for them to sit down and learn the intricacies of the courtroom. We bring in the district attorneys. We bring in our own local law enforcement, and hats off to Tom if he's still here with the Explorers. I've been knowing that brother for over 10 years, so it's a good man there. But they get these opportunities, and that's just one of the Teen Talks. Throughout the year, because the program has grown so much and there's been so much interest, we do everything from Teen Talks on teaching about different careers in aerospace, engineering. We teach about anything that the kids come to us and say that they want and have a desire to learn. We create a program around it, and we teach them. Our most recent program, Sonia and I are going to be spearheading that, is our Young Entrepreneurs, where we're teaching youth about how to become business owners. So out of our Teen Talks, we've just continued to just build and grow. So the core lessons that we want every student to walk away with, no matter what program they come through, are going to be responsible leadership, professional development, collaboration, positive communication, and public speaking. We'll start with the Community Attendance Assistance Program. Students in the Antelope Valley classify as having low socioeconomic status. These students often face homelessness or justice involved and disconnected from schools. What does this mean in just plain layman's terms? It means that if we don't do something to impact and create a change for our students to show up, get the grade, then we basically perpetuate the criminal justice system. We perpetuate homelessness. We perpetuate all those things that we as a city and as a community have the greatest desire to change and impact. So that's the concern. A few quick facts: students who are experiencing chronic absenteeism are 4 times more likely to drop out of high school. They're 3 times more likely to be arrested after the age of 18, and they're 2 times more likely to have used some type of controlled substance within the last 6 months. So the community assistance, I'm just going to call it CAP because it starts to get tongue-tied sometimes. So the CAP program, basically, solution is to do one-on-one mentorship. We use our educational life coaches like India and like Jasmine to work with these students, determine what the issues are that they're facing, and walk them through the process of creating that paradigm shift. They work with the parents, they work with the students, they do whatever it takes, whether it's something as simple as giving them an alarm clock to something as complicated as sitting down with them every day, checking that they're in class every day, and working with them on doing homework every day. So what does that look like? In the Antelope Valley, in the city of Lancaster, we're currently at 3 schools. So if we take a quick look at the numbers, the average absentee rate of students enrolled into our program at Antelope Valley High School is 29%. At Eastside High School, it was 43%. At Lancaster High School, it was 30%. Year to date, as of last week, we had 30 students enrolled in the CAP program at Antelope Valley High School, 51 at Eastside High School, and 27 at Lancaster High School. We check these students' classes every day to make sure that they're showing up. The success rate at Antelope Valley High School, 77% of those students who were 29% absentee are showing up to class after they get enrolled in the program. 57% at Eastside, and that's the lowest number we have because that's the newest student population that we're starting to work with. It was 41% when we started. It's at 57% as of last week, and when I checked it this morning, it was 64%, so that number is climbing. And at Lancaster High School, we're sitting at 71%. These are students who are normally disconnected from school, but are now currently going to school because of the work that we're doing as a city. If we look at the stats for the success rate over the last 10 years, you can see that we averaged 72% over the last 10 years, right? COVID definitely did affect us. But we were still working. We were at home. We felt like telemarketers, but we kept calling and making sure why your kid isn't logging in, why your kid's not logging in, why your kid's not trying, what's going on, what can we do? Can we pick up a computer, drop off a computer? What does it take for these students to be able to go to school? Other programs that we work with are our Justice Sunday Arts Initiative. Many of you are familiar with the Justice Sunday Arts Initiative. With the Justice Sunday Arts Initiative, we work with students from all across the valley to teach them, again, as I stated, theater. We teach them public speaking. We teach them how to navigate history, how to navigate tough community issues, and we are thriving. We have just started this season now, so make sure you sign up, get a ticket, be there. It's going to be on January 19th. From that, we have created mentorship programs that are working with students as far as Howard University, NYU. Our biggest alumni at this point is UCLA, so that's where we have most of our students at, so all of our USC fans, we're going to just say don't worry about that. But yeah, we're continuing to impact those students. As I stated, our teen talks have grown immensely. I see a couple of familiar faces, one there in the corner that comes to all of our teen talks and work with our kids and actually take the time to get to know the kids. Like, not just show up and say, hey, we're gonna meet and greet, smile, and then go to separate ways. No, they sit down, they talk to the kids, they walk through role play examples with the kids. They talk to the kids about knowing your rights. What do you do if you're pulled over? If you wanna become a deputy, what do you need to do? They take the time to actually get to know our youth. And as I said, those programs have just continued to grow year over year. You can see a picture of just how many students participated last year in our Youth for Justice. And that number has doubled for this year. A couple of our student successes, I won't go through the details of it. Both students were prone to be going to drop out of high school, and after working with the program have gone on to college. Some of our up-and-coming initiatives and where we're at currently, we are working with the Sheriff's Department with a Youth Advisory Committee. We are working with students who tend to get into trouble at the high school level on giving them counseling so that they can stop getting into trouble as much, and we're calling them our Concrete Roses, and we're having success there. We're working with our young entrepreneurs, as I stated earlier, where we're teaching kids how to build businesses. We have our vertical alignment in which we're trying to get off the ground, me, Cholise, and Sonia, and Larissa. So we kind of picked that up as a pet project on how we can better do vertical alignment so that we're working with students from elementary to middle school to high school. And then we're also taking on the awesome challenge of trying to get students at third grade reading level when they get to third grade. And that's a monster to take on, but we've decided that that's something we can do as a city. And so we're looking at how we're gonna roll that out. And our goal is to have that fully up and running by the beginning of next school year. With that, I'd like to say if there's any questions, I can answer them. I wanted to go through fast just in case you wanted to have the kids come up.
It's impressive. And when you all say it was impressive, I mean, it's unbelievably impressive. How did they select which kids participate in the truancy program?
Great question. So for a kid to be eligible for the truancy program, they have to first be deemed as chronically absentee. So that means that they have to have an absentee rate of greater than 10%. In most instances, the students that we work with, when we pull them, their absentee rates sit up in the high 20s to sometimes even into the 30s when we first pull them. Because we have a partnership with the Antelope Valley Union High School District, we're able to pull that data straight out of Power Schools and then assign students to our educational life coaches, and our educational life coaches then do an evaluation. And then after they do an evaluation, if the kid does qualify, they conduct an intake, and then that kid is enrolled.
So let me break it down.
Okay.
'Cause every kid that has been truant or absent more than 10% of the time, over what period of time?
So it's a cumulative. So 10% from the first day of school to the last day of the school year.
Whenever they hit 10%, they're referred to the program.
So no, so be clear, we cannot handle every kid. So our educational life coaches are set up to where they can work with up to 25 kids because we do a case management model. So in order for the kid to have the turnaround, they need the consistency. And if we were to pick up every kid, then our educational life coaches would not be able to deal with the caseload. The problem is just that systemic.
So how many fall through the cracks?
We primarily focused on freshmen and sophomores, so we can say that juniors and seniors all fall through the cracks. Because we're not equipped, we don't have the human capital to service that many students. So at each site, we have 2 educational life coaches. Each educational life coach is responsible for up to 25 students. We're currently operating out of 3 sites, so that's 150 students. We have 26,000 or so students in the district. So the problem is huge.
So if we just did the freshman and sophomore population, do we have any estimate of how many kids are chronically truant?
I can give you a rough estimate, but from each school site, it varies. So, and it's determined based upon attendance rate. So the attendance rate would range, I think we're averaging in the Antelope Valley anywhere between, I think, 88% and 94% with a couple of outliers. So if we just quickly extrapolate, you're looking at somewhere around 10% of the students across the valley.
How many?
That's a lot of quick math. Let's say 10%, say roughly 26, so 2,600 roughly, if I'm doing the numbers really quick. If
So
not,
we're servicing 10% of those.
yeah. So we're servicing on a given year roughly 300 students for the, so yeah, so roughly 10%.
Is it just a funding issue?
It's absolutely a funding issue and a hiring issue because we need to make sure we have the right people. Everyone can't be a life coach. It takes a certain personality type. It takes a certain commitment level because what we don't ever want to do is re-traumatize. So you have to have someone who's going to be committed to that student for the time that they're in the program.
Are you saying I'm probably not the best life coach?
I'm saying that you would have to dedicate quite a bit of time to successfully do it.
It's okay. I'm not easily offended. All right. So it's a budget issue.
It's a budgeting issue, and if you would like to hear from one of the students who are currently in the program, Daniel's here. He'd be more than willing to come introduce himself.
All right. So what's the budget for it, for just the truancy issue program?
So we're currently working through building out a youth division. So we don't have all the budget. As of now, we've been primarily operating off of working with other agencies. So part of our staff, we put together the Antelope Valley Education Alliance, which is basically the city of Lancaster, CBOs, the school district. And so a big piece of our staffing comes through the CBO, Future Leaders California, and then another piece of our staffing comes through the Antelope Valley Union High School District. And then, of course, I'm staffed through the city. So we're kind of all working together as a team to address the issue. But I can, if you give me a little time, I can come back with you with a budget.
Well, there's the district also gets the ADA. When these kids start attending, the district money goes up from the state, right?
Yes.
So there's an offset there
Yes.
that we could recapture, right?
Yes.
Come back with a budget.
Come back with a budget? Absolutely.
I mean, at least for freshmen and sophomores. I mean, if we could, that's a huge impact, a huge impact. And I don't think we should pay lip service to it. I think we ought to fully commit to it.
Well, we have the infrastructure, we have the curriculum to do that.
And our budget has improved substantially after the election, so we're interested in ideas of how to best service the community. And, you know, just assuming that we know is probably not the wisest decision you all could make. We need to hear from you. You know, what do you think? The most important thing you've said here tonight is the grades 1 through 3. Being able to read when you leave the 3rd grade is probably the most significant factor in regards to whether or not an individual. It's true. You know, after COVID, we asked the COVID team to come up with a plan to lower the mortality rate of just one neighborhood. You know what they came back with? If you can read in the 3rd grade, at a 3rd grade level, when you leave the 3rd grade, you live 10 to 15 years longer. I mean, that is how significant it is. much less likely to get involved in substance abuse, much less likely to go to prison, much less likely to have the horrors that so many people experience. But it's really upstream, which means grades 1 through 3. We now have a budget that is available to significantly impact that population, but I need to see some real substantive ideas that'll work. You know, I don't want to just throw money away. I want those kids reading in the 3rd grade when they leave the 3rd grade. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So take care of that, would you, Nigel?
Yes, sir, we will. And Charlize has already given us a directive to build it out, and Sonia's working with me to get it going. So we'll get that to you guys ASAP.
And you know, I recognize that this is really a school district issue, probably not a city issue, but it's all of our issue. You know, and if we could just come together on just that one thing, we would have such a huge impact. You know, I mean, I can't even conceive of what this city would look like had we tackled it the day I got elected. You know, 16 years ago, we would now be seeing the fruits of that.
It's a partnership issue, Mr. Mayor, and the reason why it's a partnership issue is because of vertical alignment. We have a lot of school districts, and so no one school district can take full ownership. That's why it becomes that partnership that's needed. And then as a municipality, it's imperative that we spearhead that connection.
I agree. Thank you, Nigel. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
So you brought some kids with you?
I brought some kids with me,
Can
yes.
you bring them on down?
Come on down.
And which one of them should get the scholarship?
Yeah, I would say all.
How many are there?
There's 6 with me today.
You are one greedy guy.
I hustle hard for the kids.
So how many seniors do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 seniors.
Okay. You guys want to fight it out? No, I'm kidding. All right, you each get $1,000, but you got to go to college. Okay.
It's up, same. Almost 2,000 now.
Census is going to stay static. Don't you think?
What do you mean? Oh, no, it'll gain. Because the later he voted, the higher
The city of Denver vote for it.
you know what that means? It means our advertising
Everybody, look over here. 1 second.
is effective.
All right. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And then just another 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
So is somebody keeping track of this? Because let me know if I go over the fund, okay? Yeah. I got enough left? Oof, really? Okay. Where am I? I forgot I was running this. Sonia Patterson.
That item's actually been pulled.
Mr. Calandri, the meeting started at 5 o'clock.
So, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. We're actually, that item, Sonia's item, was put on by air, so we're going on to the next presentation. And if you think Nigel was greedy, we're going to bring up 28 students now to really get greedy. No, with all due respect, so on behalf of the mayor, the vice mayor, and council, we asked staff, and Tamara Gonzalez did an amazing job. She reached out to all of the local school districts to identify students that really exemplified not just a student with good grades, but was an outstanding citizen on the campus. So we have 10 of our local middle and elementary schools, all bringing students. And I'll tell you, some of the stories I read, one of the, I think it was a fourth grader, managed to maintain straight A's, be involved on campus, all while undergoing treatment for brain cancer. So you hear these kind of stories, and it's just amazing. And these are the types of students that we're bringing up here tonight to be recognized. So I'll announce the schools. We can bring all 10 schools up all in one shot and then take a couple of pictures, and we have certificates for all of the students.
How many?
So, how many?
28.
28 in total. So the schools are Armagosa Creek. We have Endeavor. And as I call you, please come on up, bring your students, bring your faculty, all of that. So Armagosa, Endeavor, El Dorado, Mariposa, Sierra Elementary, Sundown, Valley View, the Virtual Academy of the Antelope Valley, Joe Walker, Del Sur, and that's it. So give them all a round of applause.
How many seniors?
These are all K through 8.
They're K through
Oh,
8.
two seniors? Okay. You better squeeze on in.
Yeah.
Squeeze on in.
We need everybody in this area. Do you need this?
I think.
If the parents want to come down and take pictures, that's okay.
You can call it my son,
What is your son?
okay? Future waste management employer. No,
Put your
he's gonna be
aspiration.
city manager.
Put your aspiration.
City manager.
Yes. Because he's running waste management, right?
That's right.
Should say hi to Joe.
No, the limit's 500. Did you check it?
Her and my daughter.
Or was it 250?
Yeah, he was saying so. He'll like $1,000 scholarship. We got you guys.
you? There's CC3. Correct. No, Rex has, we got to pull 3, 4, 7, and 10. Be hard to fucking do. You have 10. Rex has 3, 4, and 7. Raj has this, but the rule of necessity. Right. That have to leave.
Everybody look at the back. Everybody look at me. All right. 1, 2, 3.
3, 4, 7, and 10.
Another 1.
No, Rex is only 3, 4, and 7.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Everybody left.
They got their awards and
You got cleared out quick.
Sure did.
You asked everyone that voted for Rex.
Don't laugh, Heather. It encourages him. Just ignore him. Act like he didn't say anything. He'll stop. Okay, is that it? Moving on to the consent calendar.
We have to pull CC 10, CC 4, CC 3, CC 7. Ken has to recuse himself for CC 10. You want to give the reason, Ken?
Yeah,
Dispensary there?
So let me start with my two. So I have CC3, so the conflict of interest is I own property that's within the hospital district. And CC10, I've been informed that an individual that wrote me I don't know if it was a $200 check or a $100 check to my campaign, is a potential recipient of the award on CC10. So that's my two conflicts.
And Raj, you need to do CC 3, but the rule of necessity keeps you here.
Right, so, yeah, so for Medical Main Street, Councilmember Molly has been selected as the participating council member under the rule of necessity. But Councilmember Molly, you should state the nature of your conflict for the record.
I do have a business nearby the Medical Main Street, so therefore I had to recuse, but I guess I don't have to.
You have to announce your conflict, but then stay and vote.
Okay.
Wait a minute. The guy I put in charge of Medical Main Street can't vote on Medical Main Street because what?
So years ago, the rule of necessity was invoked for Medical Main Street because of the property interests held by Councilmember Mann, yourself, Mr. Mayor, and the business interests held by Councilmember Molly. And that rule of necessity, drawing of straws, resulted in Councilmember Molly drawing the short straw, and therefore having to remain and vote and participate in Medical Main Street despite his conflict.
So I'm good.
Yes, so he's good.
So I can still be in charge.
Just get it up and built, would you?
And Rex, you're conflicted on CC 3, CC 4, and CC 7.
4 and 7, that's because I funded the shirts.
Because you're a
for the-
sponsor for the soccer team.
Right.
And then 3 is because of property ownership, is my understanding.
Oh, that's right. Okay, good. So how do you want to do this?
I'll do them. What is CC 7 for?
Passes unanimously.
Rex and Ken, leave Rex back there, and we'll do 3. I'll move that we accept the consent calendar 3.
I second that.
Let's vote. Passes with 3 yes votes, with Mr. Mann and the mayor recusing himself.
Which one we do next?
So, Ken, you want to come back? Passes with 4 yes votes with the mayor recusing. Okay, and now Ken.
Do we have anything on the regular calendar?
Step down from the planning commission. It is my understanding that
Leslie's back on the planning commission. Okay. And this can't happen. Thank you.
To recognize all the fallen heroes of the valley differently, but it's still messed up.
You don't want to forget Thursday night. Or Thursday night is the scoping.
Okay, and Thursday night, where's it at the council chambers?
Council chambers. So Thursday evening at 6 p.m., there is a scoping meeting where Caltrans will be present to get feedback about their ideas about either not improving. This is what's real important. They have on their list potentially to remove stupidity.
We would like everyone to come out and tell them they
Yes.
need to add another lane. That's what, and everyone's going to think I'm being funny, but I'm not. Avenue A, instead of doing it in two. The councilwoman talked about that. And we made numerous appearances, at different organizations, Rotary, Kiwanis, everything for Measure YM. So it was a busy month. And I think we did field of drafts too. Do we have a video on that?
We are having our Field of Drafts, our annual event, and we do it every year, and I think it's just as successful as it has been in the past. I love the tradition. Everything has just been wonderful today, and the fact that there's food and drink, nothing brings everyone together at the table like some good food and some good drink.
It's definitely growing every year. And even through the COVID, that's the only time I think we missed out. But besides that, we've been good. It's growing numbers of every time vendors and our local community. And I have met some people, they came from the neighbor cities. Everybody want to have a fun. And it's a beer fest, you know, so it's, I would say it's a majority of the people like what they love, food and drinks and beer. So I think it's good for everybody, and it's good for our city. It's good for our small businesses.
I grew up here. They grew up here saying there's not much that we did. There's not much to do here. This will show there is a lot to do here. We're a progressive community. We're looking forward to making the stadium bigger and better. And while we do that, we moved over to one of our other facilities, which is the fairgrounds.
We usually have a great turnout and great participation, and I hope everybody's safe. And if you missed this year and you've missed one in the past, then maybe you'll join us next year.
So it was a great event, and we held it at the fairgrounds this year.
Were they slurring their words, or is that my imagination?
Your imagination.
Okay. Just a question.
Continuing along the lines of being busy in transportation, as the Vice Mayor alluded to, we had our 80 Edge Fall Forum, and there we spoke all things transportation, the good, the bad, the ugly, but really what was impressive was that everybody was coming together to talk about our needs and our wants. So I think we have a video on that.
Have you ever wondered how our city officials and leaders discuss the economic development of our tax dollars within our community? Well, at today's AV Edge seminar, Lancaster, Palmdale, and all surrounding cities have come together to discuss how our tax dollars are going to benefit this society.
I want a beautiful paradise here in Antelope Valley. This is where I'm raising my kids. This is where you're raising your kids. This is where you're raising and promoting your businesses. You made an investment to be here in this community.
I think you're going to find out as time goes by. Avenue M is probably going to be, it used to be the dividing line, and I think today it's going to be the bridge to success.
Arthur, thank you so much for all the information that you delivered at AV Edge. If you can inform our viewers some minor details that they need to know about the freeway that they might not know right now.
Thank you so much, especially on the SR14. So a lot of people have been frustrated with the traffic they're dealing with, unreliable travel times, unsafe conditions. That's another study that we're trying to do that we're asking the public to comment on by December 4th. So there's a scoping meetings in Lancaster, Palmdale, and Santa Clarita. And I don't have it handy right now, but I'll give you that information of how your viewers could comment about the conditions on the SR14.
And then just one more update, Mayor. Or do you have a question?
Those folks ain't from Lancaster. I mean, seriously, they need to have a study to know that it takes forever to get home on the 14 freeway. I mean, seriously.
Actually, they have to have 5 studies.
And then they have to have public comment about what, we like to be in traffic jams for hours and hours. Do you realize that bladder cancer is a major issue up here? Because people on that freeway, you know, they have to hold their bladder and they end up getting bladder cancer. There's something wrong with government, isn't there?
I agree.
Caltrans, for sure.
Just fix the damn freeway. I mean, it's real simple, right?
Well, they come up with all different type. They told us they'll paint the side stripe from 4 inches to 6 inches, and that should help.
That crosswalk idea, I think the crosswalk on the freeway, that was a Jacoby and Myers idea, trust me.
Jeez.
Okay, moving on.
You're not going to speak about Habitat for Humanity?
Oh, please, you take it over.
Veterans?
Well, go ahead.
Well, on a positive note, we had the opportunity, council members Mann and I, to attend numerous different ceremonies, celebrations to honor veterans. So on behalf of all the council, like I said, during those ceremonies, thank you so much to our veterans, those who have served, those who continue to serve, and a big emphasis and thank you on their family members, because we know nothing worthwhile is done alone. So thank you to those family members, supporting them, pushing them, and encouraging them. And we do have a video on that.
I don't know. Did we have a video on Habitat for Humanity? We did not. Okay. But we did a release of, I think it was 5 more homes. So a total of 8 now. And anyway, it was a great day. And you can tell that we're making a difference for people's lives to be able to have their first home and do it to where they can actually have the affordability. So anyway.
You want to talk about the importation of homeless?
Specific to?
What you're talking about.
Oh, so one of the things that Lauren and I discovered again from Habitat with Humanity, we need to have an opportunity to speak to the board members there, is to find out why we can't just make sure that those homes are going to specifically to Lancaster residents and not to people from outside of the Antelope Valley. I have a big issue about that. and great program. You know, the requirement for somebody to be able to get into a home is very important. But I think we need to make sure that we take care of Lancaster people first. That's important.
Well, are they bringing people up and putting them in?
Yes.
Yeah. So we
So quit permitting those houses until they fix it.
Yeah.
We are not in the business of importing homeless people, despite what LA might think.
Yeah.
Do not permit one more of those homes unless you have absolute assurances that it's coming from somebody, being given to somebody in the Antelope Valley.
So
That's not a hard thing to do. Do not permit it. I mean, no, you cannot have a building permit unless we know that it's going to be an Antelope Valley person. Even if they want to file a lawsuit, let them. Let them. When have we lost? We haven't.
Yeah.
Right?
So Mayor, we have on schedule to sit down and talk to the board and get that cleared up, because that's an issue with me. We
What's
can't
to
carry
clear-
the world on
What's
our
to clear
backs.
up? What's to talk about? No, you cannot bring people from out of the city into the city who are homeless. It's real simple.
And then,
Yeah,
Mayor,
right.
I would say, obviously, as we strike a healthy balance of, giving, but also taking care of our residents here in the Antelope Valley, I think we need to look across all resources and ensure that we're prioritizing our local residents first. So more than just housing, all the other
I
agencies
agree.
we partner with.
I'm not interested in balance. I am interested in taking care of the people from Lancaster. Anybody else, that's why we're not signing that agreement of the cities. No, we're. Can you tell I get upset? Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. We in agreement?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the reason why we need to be active and be involved in all these programs so that we stay on top of things so this doesn't happen.
Trulise, could you verify whether or not they have any things in the works? If they do, I mean, if they're seeking permits for anything, make certain they understand the rules. Can we do that?
Understood. Yes, we'll make that happen.
Thank you. Good. What?
He has some good news to share.
I'm sorry.
He has good news to share.
Oh, good news, yes. Give me some good news.
So it's Trollis, why don't you give a little background and then I'll take over.
Sounds good. So last Wednesday, myself and a group of city staff had the pleasure of going down to the Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation's, it's a mouthful, their Eddie Awards. Councilmember Molly attended the event with us. It was at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Very nicely done. And what an Eddie Award is, it's the award for the most business-friendly cities in LA County. They give 2 awards, one for cities with population under 60,000, one for cities with population of greater than 60,000. And I'll read some verbiage that they have. It's to the city that demonstrates excellence in streamlining processes, enhancing economic development, and fostering a supportive environment for business to grow and thrive. So this year, our application focused on this council's philosophy of creating an environment of partnership, whether that's partnering with developers or businesses or any other regional agencies, really to eliminate red tape and get these businesses or developments built as quickly as possible so that we're creating jobs and tax revenue so that we have a prosperous city. Specifically, the application focused in and honed in on the regional partnership associated with the Paris Center and what that took to make that happen. A special shout out to Sydney Yaceta from our Economic Development Group and that whole team. She shared with me the application, I believe, 2 weeks ago, and when I read it, I said, well, yes, that's all true, and yes, we're probably going to be a winner because it's an amazing job on the application. So there were 5 finalists in the large city category: Carson, Glendale, Lancaster, Pasadena, and Santa Clarita. So some pretty big cities, stiff competition. And I'll turn it over to Councilman Molly to talk about what happened at the event.
So the coolest part was Sydney told me 200% we were going to win. Well, as we were walking into the, and we did. And this was our 4th one and my 2nd one. So it was really excitement, and entire staff and myself got to the stage and we received it. It was really joyful, excellent moment we had, and it was a fun night. And I just want to give Mayor Paris, your leadership and council's all leadership and our staff, kudos goes to them. So they take over and then they run with it. So you guys make it happen. So congratulations to you guys, and you guys keep doing what you guys doing. We're very proud of you guys.
We We have a video, and then we also have the awards up there that we can take some pictures with and show off.
There you go. It's your leadership. Pretty heavy.
That's pretty cool, actually. Look at that. Wow, I like that. Thank you very much. Wow.
We should take a picture after, like, once we're done.
Now, the large city category, most business-friendly city, goes to the city of Lancaster.
This is, and you know what, guys, I knew definitely, I know we were gonna win because my people are here. This is my team right here.
On behalf of my council, Mayor Paris, Vice Mayor Chris, Councilmember Raj Mali, thank you very much. It takes a team. It's really, truly through their leadership that we cut bureaucracy. So we have a philosophy that we are a project partner. So thank you, council. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you for having us here tonight. Thank you.
I love that suit. The red one, yeah. Okay, terrific. What's next? Is that it? My turn? City manager.
My updates are concluded. I had on my list the Caltrans outreach meeting and then the update on the Eddie Award, so I'm good.
Good, thank you. I mentioned earlier about the discretionary funds that are now available and that we are interested in the city's ideas. You should take my inquiry seriously. If you have some productive ideas you'd like to share with us, you should do so, because we actually are in a position to effectuate some major changes. One of the things I'm going to request the council to do is, for several years now, we've been hearing all kinds of rumors on the social media and from our detractors about the grand conspiracies that seem to be taking place in Lancaster. And we have done everything we can to look into that, to see if any of that is valid. And I can't find anything. Our lawyers can't find anything. What I would like the city attorney to do is to retain a retired judge of absolute stature, to whose qualifications and personal history are such that there can be no doubt as to who they are and that they would leave no stone unturned. And I would like an internal investigation of the entire city to see if anything is awry. That's the last thing I can think of doing to make certain that these rumors are put to rest, and that I guess I don't want to say too much more about it, do I? Or do I? As the attorney is shaking her head, no, I should shut up. Find the judge, give him carte blanche, open all of the doors, open all of the books, open all of the servers. I want him to have absolute unfettered access to everything, to every employee he may need to talk to, and I want to report back. If there is something that is inappropriate, I want to know it. And I'd like to know it sooner than later. Fair enough?
I will get started immediately.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You've already heard my comments about reading at a third grade level. I would like that to be a priority. I think that that is probably the most significant thing we can do. Although when I was visiting some of the schools in the past few months, what the principals told me is that there's a tremendous need for parenting classes. Larissa, how do we look into that? Is that something Sonia should do? Is it? It's probably something Parks would undertake, right?
We can do some research, Mayor.
I want to improve the well-being of certainly the children in this community. And before we spend any money on anything else, I think that's where we should look first. Although, when is the arts program going to be presented?
That is scheduled for February for adoption of the master plan.
When is the draft going to get to me?
That should be by the end of this month, be early December.
Sooner is better than later.
Of course.
We now have the funds to do some things. We're going to do most of it probably through Parks. So get creative, right? Obviously, we're going to do a great deal more in regards to law enforcement. And I had this great idea. Why don't we get a robotic police car? You know, like the taxis and what are those things called? And I mean, what do they do but observe? We could do that with, it would be, right? It'd go back to the teleprompters or whatever. What do they call those things? You know, the screens that you guys look at all the time. Do we really need a person in the car?
We'll do some
Don't answer
research and get
that.
back.
We'll look into it.
Well, it's just a thought. We could even dress up, you know, like a mannequin, like he's a robot, you know? Because it would look like he was driving it, right? I want you to get really creative. I'm serious about the creativity part of it.
We have a list of creative ideas, sir.
And when do I get to get briefed on that?
After research.
I want to move quicker. All right?
Yes, sir.
I want this city safer, quicker.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And I guess that's all I have. City Clerk.
This is the time to address the City Council Agency Authority on non-agendized matters. Speaker cards may be found on the back table of the council chambers. If you have completed one, please ensure you have placed it in the basket so you may be recognized. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Please keep in mind, state law prohibits the council from acting on items not on the agenda, and your matter may be referred to the city manager. Thank you.
Okay. Elvia, is that it? Elvia? Valdiva? Hi. You're from the college, right? And your professor sent you here to get grilled by the mayor. And are they doing something for the post-traumatic stress when you go back? Or
Hopefully.
what do you have to say for yourself?
Okay, so my question is about.
Could you bring the mic up?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, so my question is about public health. So since building another hospital in the Antelope Valley was voted against, what are the plans for handling patient care quickly and effectively when our most popular Antelope Valley hospital is already facing things like capacity issues, where to place people, and it is expected that our population is going to get larger, obviously, as years go on. How are we going to address the issue of everyone getting the care that they need when they need it?
Well, that certainly always has been the goal, hasn't it? And, I mean, let's not pull any punches. The healthcare of this Antelope Valley is third world. It's third world. Make no mistake about it. You know, our mortality rate is deplorable. There is no justification whatsoever for the mortality rate of this community. You know, An African-American male with kidney disease will live 10 to 15 years longer if they stay in South LA rather than come to Lancaster. You know, the truth of it is, and this is worldwide, the greatest determination, determining factor for how long you live has far more to do with your zip code than it does your epigenetic code. And that is true in the Antelope Valley. It is something that we have been dealing with for decades. I wish I had an answer. I do understand that we're very close to building a new hospital, but is that going to change the quality of care we're getting? I don't know the answer to that. I know that the city is somewhat limited in what we're able to effectuate in other jurisdictions, such as the Antelope Valley Hospital District, or whatever they're calling themselves now. But it's something we're looking at. And one of the things we are looking at is if we had paramedics in ambulances treating at the scene rather than taking them to the emergency room, we would see a substantial reduction in the wait times in the emergency room. All of that requires an enormous amount of funding. We are working with the county on moving in that direction. And I think probably the biggest obstacle to it is we're all not really working together. You know, if there was greater communication, there was greater, and that certainly is something that I should probably address more than I have. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Thank you for
and
your
ruining
time.
my night.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Great question. Lee Valdiva? Are you sisters?
Yeah, we're twins.
Twins? Wow. I got 2 sets of twins for grandchildren.
Really?
One set fraternal, one set identical, same mother. You know, it's exponentially more difficult raising 2 of you than it is one. It is unbelievably more difficult when there's 4 of you, but so my hat's off to your mother.
Same here. Okay, so I was wondering if things will be implemented or could be implemented to ensure public safety, as we have previously and continue to face issues with public safety. Like, for example, during the Antelope Valley Fair this year when we had chaperones that were mandatory for people under the age of 18.
I thought that was an incredible idea. I mean,
I thought so too.
yeah, wasn't that your idea? That was Marvin's idea, right?
Good job.
You know, it's the nudge factor. We should be looking for the simplest, not the most complex. And the fair went flawlessly. I'm not aware of any problems. Are you?
No, not at all.
So do you have any suggestions as to how I can make this city safer?
I think the idea of chaperones is very good, and I think having them continuously at the Antelope Valley Fair is a good idea, and I think the same thing for maybe like the mall even, because I know sometimes we have issues there as well. Maybe security could be a good thing. That's just an idea.
I thought it was a tremendous idea. Yeah, we're certainly looking at more and more creative ways to, I mean, I want to put a robot in a police car. But any ideas like that you might have, we're receptive.
So far, not yet. But that was probably my only one. Yeah, it's the mall is probably a good place to start, or even some place like George Lane Park. I know we do have very many issues there that I have also seen as well.
That's the county. And you see that guy at the back of the room? That's the guy from the county.
Okay.
I can't really do anything at George Lane Park. We are doing stuff in the city parks. We're building, you know, first of all, we're fencing them now. I think there's 8-foot fences. Is that what we decided on? I actually wanted 20-foot fences, but they said I was being ridiculous. But we're fencing off the parks. We're not letting people in after a certain curfew. So we're going to make them safer. That is our major priority, is to make sure those parks are safe. It's our priority to make the whole city safe. And you're going to see an increase in the technology that makes that possible. How far out are we? When are you going to lower the crime rate by 50%?
We're working on it.
I know you are, but
We are lowering it. I would say the technology question, there's a lot of technology right now that's being implemented that we're working with our sheriff's partners with, and that's contributing to the lowering of the crime rates that we're seeing. Your ideas are fantastic. Some of those are things that we're actually in discussion about right now. What we would love to do is have your age group be involved. We have a beautiful community room at our new station, and we would love to meet with you and your peers to get your ideas for what we could do, because our push all along has been that this is a community led initiative. It's not us telling you what it needs to be, it's us hearing from you and what you want that to be.
How safe do you feel at the college?
I would say pretty safe. I mean, obviously, sometimes you still have the curious wonders when you're in class if something might happen, but I would say I feel pretty safe there.
Okay. You know, we find that we're very good at catching them. We're not as good as we'd like to be at stopping it from happening in the first place. You know, and that's always the challenge.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you
really
so much
glad
for
you
your
guys
time.
came. Heather Smith.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I live in a neighborhood that's near 13th Street and I, where the old DMV used to be. I live on Boyden Avenue. There is a vacant lot that is about a block from my house, which is at 4520 13th Street West. Prior to it being a vacant lot, it was a house that was abandoned, and all manner of problems occurred at the house, including fires, that the fire department had to come and put out. The house was bulldozed. I don't know if the city mandated the bulldozing of the house. The owner lives in Pacific Palisades and has a PO address. The owner goes by the name Lale Kosravi. I don't know if that's a man or a woman. I have already mailed this person a letter regarding this problem property. Last July, I came home from work on the weekend, and smoke was billowing everywhere because homeless people had started a fire in the vacant lot. The fire's flames was not far from other people's houses. In my neighborhood, there's a lot of people that rent. They may be on fixed incomes. They are not wealthy. If their house was to burn down, they may not be able to afford another place to live, in which case they may become homeless, and they're add to the current homeless population that is in Lancaster now. The owner of this property apparently doesn't care about the upkeep of the house that was bulldozed, and also doesn't care about the vacant lot. And I would like to know what the city can do regarding this particular property. I've called code enforcement, but I don't know how far they can go regarding forcing the sale of the property, because the man should have sold the place so that a house could be built on it in which somebody could live. When he had the house, the house that was there was not maintained and indeed had to be bulldozed. So this is costing the city millions of dollars or thousands. So I'd like to know what the city can do about this.
Well, I'm a little unclear. Is there anything on the lot now?
No, there's a cement pad. There were trees which caught fire. And indeed, during the last windstorm, because the fire had burned through the core of the tree, it fell down, crashing over a fence. Luckily, there was nobody's car or a person walking by. So,
Chris, have somebody check out code enforcement, check the lot, see. But it sounds to me if the lot's clear, I don't know what we could do.
Mayor, this is actually a location we're very familiar with. We've been working on it for a while. Quite frankly, the legal actions we took are the reason that it is bulldozed and not a nuisance that it was before. It did take time because we do have to go through the legal process of putting the house in or getting the house into receivership and whatnot. But this is a location that we are actively looking at enforcement on, and we are working with that property owner right now.
okay, so when you're working with the property owner, what in the end do you want to achieve with the property owner? What?
The goal is always code compliance. So we'd like to see that property returned to a good state of repair and in the hands of somebody that's using it the way that a home should be used.
Okay, if they don't do that, what kind of recourse can the city take if they refuse to do anything about it?
We end up going through what's called the receivership, as a last resort, and we take possession of the property and it's sold at auction.
So the city can take possession of the property in the end?
After a very long process, yes.
Is there any way a citizen like myself can be involved?
Other than a witness, no.
All right.
We're working on the other side of the problem, which is to have them have a place to go. We're working with the county currently to put them in an RV park that we're looking at. And I don't mean a recreational vehicle. It's just, it's an old golf course. So we're
Put
looking
who
at
in an
that.
RV park?
But they'll have a place to go.
Who will have a place to go?
The people that are burning now.
Oh, the homeless situation. Yeah.
So that's what we're working on, but it does take some time. And you can see by the house being bulldozed, we are working on it.
Yes.
And we're restricted by a lot of the current laws on what we can do. And the main one is, unless we have a place to take them, we can't do anything.
I understand that, and good laws must be upheld to protect people who need the protection. I understand that.
Okay, so we're working on it, and we'll make sure that it gets done.
Okay, is there some way in which I can be kept in the loop about what's happening with this property?
Yeah, give me your number before you leave tonight, and we'll make sure we're in contact.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments? We good? No closed session tonight? Is that right?
Nope.
And the next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, December 10, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. The meeting is adjourned. Carol, my day is done and I'm coming home.